Gentoo focus. We got to do a quick recap of what the heck happened on the last live stream. So, on the last issue of Gentoo Focus, we made some progress. Gnome was up and running. Well, actually.
Yeah, it did. Yep.
On the past live stream. So, on this last live stream, the one we did 1 week ago as we record this.
Yep.
And 2 weeks ago as you're listening to this.
Right.
We made a bunch of progress.
You did.
I don't think I actually was forthright and told anybody this, but I don't have sound. We never emerged like Pulse or Pipewire or any of that stuff. Yeah. And Dan, this might actually be news to you unless you read ahead in the show notes.
I might have,
but we did emerge Pipewire. We added a few flags to the make.conf file in Etsy Portage.
Yeah, in the Portage.
Yep, we did a whole at-world thingamajig, so we brought in the new stuff and compiled it all, so we were ready to go. And then during the rest of the live stream, we kind of spent the rest of the time, as it was emerging, as things were compiling, we spent the rest of the time chatting to everybody that showed up in the chat and actually in Discord. So if you're interested in that, by the way, you could just hop in the Discord. That's just open to anybody in the Discord, and you can come and hang out with us while we do all this weird stuff.
Yeah.
And I took a quick break for all of that to play Vivaldia, which I promised we would do the previous live stream.
Yeah, but we really botched that one up, boy.
Yeah.
Whoops.
I can't even remember now how bad I was at Gentoo.
I don't know what we did there, but we failed. That was the title of that. Yep.
Yup. So this last live stream, I did play some Vivaldia 2, got past the first boss, just barely.
It was cool.
But it's been something I wanted to do on a stream for a little while. Anyway, so Pipewire apparently wasn't quite meant to be. It turns out after the live stream, it was still compiling at the time. Once we shut down the live stream, everything was still compiling. So like I couldn't have known this during the live stream. But after the live stream was done, I found out a little further down the handbook, it tells you how to enable Pipewire, which is actually a pretty simple process. It was basically just use systemd to turn on the services, and there were a couple of services that you needed to turn on to make it work. Well, there was no service. So I ran the system control start whatever thing.
Yeah.
And it was like, I don't know what service you're talking about. And I'm like, wait a minute. I just emerged Pipewire. And
did we miss a step?
Okay, so and this is the cool thing about these live streams is that I will only really do the work on the live stream. So all of this stuff that I'm saying will still be a problem for the next live stream. So if you have not joined on those, especially if you have like a little bit of Gentoo knowledge that maybe you can help us out, or you just want to laugh at me doing it bad.
There you go. Yeah.
Either or, whatever.
And you could watch me, try to remote control Leo, I guess, with things.
Twitch compiles Gentoo is really what's happening.
And I only half know more than Leo.
Dude, Adam came in there talking like he had been running Gentoo for 10 years, man. Like that was already a surprise.
I think I've got a solid week more than Leo, to be honest with you.
Seriously. We are Gentoo nubs. But what I am surprised by the amount of people that have told me, and it is more than a handful, that have told me to do this like TILD AMD 64 thing.
Oh yeah, it puts you in testing. Yeah. Or this unstable, whatever they're calling it. Yeah.
That is a very scary thing to do.
And we had that discussion actually. So you can totally bring in some packages that way, and I feel like that's kind of cool.
And that is cool. I am not smart enough to fix the things yet.
I am running like you see it there. It's compiling up, doing updates. It's on 69 of 189 right now.
I blame the Benadryl why it's not.
That's
right.
fair. So I am running the testing version because hey, why not? Like that. This is part of the adventure. So I did that. I don't know that I'd recommend that for everybody though, because I did bump into a couple of things.
And that's exactly why I've been so averse to like, yeah, let's just throw it in there and compile the whole system again using testing and stuff. No, I'm not there yet. Give me some time. I am still very much a Gentoo green. You know, I'm a little sprout. You ever played Final Fantasy, the online one or whatever? And whenever you're new, you have this little sprout and people will help you and stuff. Yeah. Well, people in Final Fantasy are not like, hey, come to the end game with me right now. And no, not yet.
Nope, not time.
Not yet. So, okay. So we emerged Pipewire. I tried to start it. It didn't work. I say we do all the work. I did look into it, though. There are a couple of steps in the handbook that it tells you to do. Not in this case, but it was like, if you want to just emerge Pipewire by itself. And so I did. Okay. And it turns out that the @world update that we did not bring in Pipewire. So
that's why I was asking. I think so. Basically, that does the updates of all the packages, gets them all compiled, ready to go for when you do install Pipewire. So that's the way. I wasn't sure where we left that. I guess. Okay. That was. Well, I really was questioning. Like, where did we leave that?
Okay. So, in the handbook, the way the handbook is written, it really makes it sound like it should have emerged Pipewire because in the make.conf file, we specifically add the flag of Pipewire. So things are getting compiled for Pipewire, and the handbook makes it sound like it would also emerge Pipewire, and that does kind of track. It does make sense, but I was like,
it doesn't. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because the next step is like, if you want to emerge Pipewire by itself. So it kind of makes me think that, like, you know, normally under normal circumstances, if you follow the handbook, the Pipewire would already be there. But it wasn't. So I emerged Pipewire by itself.
Okay.
Which was the next logical step because it was the next thing in the handbook.
Yep.
I emerged it, and still no systemd service to start.
Oh, dang. All right. Well, that'll be fun to figure out now.
So that's kind of where we left off. I think. So I did make a couple of changes. So I think during the live stream, everybody was telling me, "Yeah, cool, just throw it in the make.conf. Throw all these flags in the make.conf." But if you reread the handbook specifically says, put those flags in the package flags.
Yeah, package use flags, right?
Pipewire. Yeah. So I put them in make.conf. So then
it probably doesn't hurt anything, but it makes everything compile against that, right?
Right. But I did,
so this is Adam's advice, actually. Adam made this sound pretty smart, really. He did.
So I took them out of the make.conf and I added them to the package specific flags. Really just to be as close to the handbook as I possibly could be.
Okay.
Emerged everything. Nothing actually changed. Like, nothing was removed and nothing was recompiled.
Like, that means you did it right.
Yeah. So, no. Okay, hold on. Because in the middle of this, it was like Adam, not ATOM, not ADAM, ATOM, something error. And I was like, oh. So it took me a couple times to actually get the package-specific use flag syntax correct.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I messed up a couple of times. I didn't actually say it, but I did.
No, but when you got done with all that, like, it was the same. That's good.
Yes. So everything was good. Things got recompiled that needed to be recompiled, which was pretty much nothing. But I feel like I have run it the way the handbook has expected, and still no systemd service.
We'll have to dive into that then, yeah.
So that's where we left off. That's this next live stream that we do. We're going to be hacking away at Pipewire trying to make the sound go.
Cool.
We're going to see how that goes. So there's something I did wrong. There's got to be something I did wrong to make this, because everybody else is running with sound. Dan, you've got sound. Adam's got sound.
I do have sound, yeah.
Everybody. So
like I totally watched videos and stuff. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah. So everybody's got sound. I don't have sound. Something is up with my Gentoo, and I know it's something super simple somewhere in some configuration file I got to change. But once I do that, I know I'll have the services and we'll be able to start it up and everything. So
yeah,
it'll be a fun, weird, crazy time trying to figure out what the heck I did wrong. So So in the next live streams, got to bring in the Pipewire stuff as I was talking about. The next thing we're going to have to do after that is Network Manager. I have been physically plugging in using DHCPCD to give me an IP. I don't want to do that. I want Wi-Fi, and I want Network Manager to handle that because GNOME, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Then after that will be Bluetooth.
Man, I need to test Bluetooth too. I have not tested Bluetooth. So you got me on that one. When you mentioned that, like that made me think.
Okay, we'll test Bluetooth. Does the fingerprint reader work?
Maybe. Like I don't know. Does your fingerprint reader work on other things?
I don't ever use it, so I don't actually know.
Like I've got it on the one machine, but it used to be my wife's machine and it had Windows on it. And
the Wiener Dog one.
Yeah. And so like it was flaky in Windows. So like I'm only expecting that sort of level of, I think it's just the resolution on the fingerprint reader itself is kind of horrible. Yeah. So I don't like you. I don't use it either. So okay. I'm glad my machine's not fancy enough. That I'm running Gentoo on. I'm glad it's not fancy enough for that because it seems like it's hit or miss whether it works just in general anyway.
Okay. Yeah. I don't really use a fingerprint reader, to be honest with you.
It's cool. Like when I did have it working, like I could use it to update. Obviously, you could use it to unlock the machine.
That is cool. Sudo and stuff.
Like when it prompted you to enter your sudo, you just tap that and boom. Like, but it only read about 40% of the time. Yeah, because I think it's like I said, it just can't read it well enough. Whatever.
Okay, fine.
But I mean, maybe, but mine's an Asus. Yours is a Lenovo. Maybe it'll work better. I don't know.
Maybe. I remember all the FPrint D issues we had a while ago. So I won't blame Gentoo if the fingerprint reader doesn't work. But it would be kind of cool to have it working. So maybe not. We'll see.
Something to take.
But after all that, that'll be all the hardware. That'll be everything. I think once those weird things are done, fingerprint reader optional, then I'll be able to sit back, relax, and use the thing finally until I have to emerge the next version of GNOME or something, and then got to stick it away for 6 hours and let it do its thing. But after that, then again, I'll be good for like a good month or something. I think stable is pretty chill with
and that'll be
updates.
The end of the season, folks.
You're actually probably right, which means that
not really,
Gentoo
but
history,
maybe.
But Gentoo history has got to come sometime. And
yeah,
what a great time after getting a full running awesome Gentoo machine. That would be the perfect time.
Looking at the clock, we're only like one episode away from being halfway.
One away.